Hi, in today's video I want to show you how I made this Z-fold card in ScanNCut canvas. This could be done with, a paper trimmer and a scoreboard, but I just thought I'd show how to make a cutting file in canvas for you today. So basically it's two rectangles. You fold, you make a mounting fold on your first fold and a valley fold on your second, and then you do the same with your smaller piece. The only thing to remember with this is that the bigger section on your base needs to be on the right hand side, and the bigger section on the smaller piece needs to be on your left hand side. And basically once you've made your folds and you just fold them up, that will stick there and that will stick there. This has been made using Woven Threads Designer Series paper, or DSP as it's sometimes known as, which is available in my online shop. And the stamp set I used is the lovely Free As a Bird stamp set, which is also available in my shop. And I coloured it in with some of my stamping blends. I stamped this small flower and cut this out with the ScanNCut as well, using the direct cut facility. And then I've just done some stamping inside using the in colours which are within this designer series paper. So we've got Rococo Rose and Seaside Spray, and I used those colours in the blends as well. So I hope you like the card. This cutting file was a free cutting file that I gave to my patrons last month, but I thought I would now show you how you can make your own in ScanNCut Canvas using the downloadable program and making use of the X and Y axes facility that's within there. So if you want to know how I made it, keep watching. Okay, so I'm in ScanNCut Canvas and I'm using the downloadable program, and the reason that I'm using this one is because I can use the XY coordinates to position my score lines accurately. Whereas in the Canvas online, we don't have the XY axis facility, and it's a little bit harder. It can be done if you want to use the online program, but it's easier with the downloadable program. So the first thing I'm going to do is select a rectangle and just drag it onto my mat. With the rectangle selected, I'm going to come up here to the second icon down on the right hand side, which is Edit. I'm going to untick Maintain Aspect Ratio because I want to make the width and height independent. So the width I'm going to make 11, and the height I'm going to make 4.25. So that is my base card. Now, with it still selected, I'm going to come to the XY coordinates and I'm going to position it on the 0, 0, which will put it in the top left-hand corner. And that just, for me, makes it easier to understand. You don't have to do that, but I just prefer to do it this way. So now I'm going to come to the path icon, which is over here on the far left. I'm going to left click once. I'm going to left click my mouse, press my shift key down and drag a straight line out and double click to anchor it. And with that line selected, I'm going to come over here to the height and I'm going to make it 4.25 because that's the height of my base card. And I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. Now, with it still selected, I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to make it a dash line. Now I'm going to position it. So my first dashed fold line, if you like, needs to be positioned at 2 3/4 inches. I'm going to highlight the position and I'm going to put it at 2.75 and hit enter, and under the Y axis at 0, and that will position it at the top of my card at 2 3/4 inches. Now with this dash line still selected, I'm going to come to the Layers panel, which is the fourth icon down on the right hand side, and right at the bottom there are two little boxes with a plus sign, and that means duplicate. So now that's duplicated that line for me, I'm going to come back to the editing icon, and then this time under the X axis I'm going to position that at 5.5 and under the Y 0 and press enter. So I've now got a base card which is 11 inches wide by 4.25 inches high. I've got a first score line positioned at 2 3/4 and my second dash line positioned at 5.5. I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything and right click and make that a group, and I'm just going to move that down out of the way. I'm going to come back to the shapes icon, which is the second one down on the left hand side. I'm going to drag a rectangle on. This time I'm going to make the width 10 inches and the height is going to be 2.75, and I'm going to hit enter. Again, I'm going to position this at 0, 0 on the X and Y axes. I'm going to come back to my path icon. I'm going to left click and let go. Hold my shift key down to drag out a straight line, double click to anchor it. I'm going to position this line at 4.75 by 0. With it selected, I'm going to come to the Layers panel, create a duplicate. With the duplicate selected, I'm going to go back to my editing icon and I'm going to position this one at 7.5 by 0. Now I'm just going to I've not made that a dash line, so I'm going to make it a dash line, and then I'm going to choose my other one. So I'm going to come to my Layers panel and I'm going to turn off, because this is the one that is selecting at the moment, the base card. I'm just going to turn that off so I can grab this line easier. Come to my dash lines and make it a dash line. Now I'm going to turn the base card back on, so I've got my base card and my two dash lines. I'm going to select everything and right click and make it a group. So that's my base card and that's my layer. So now I'm just going to make my panels. So I'm going to come back to my basic shapes. I'm going to get a rectangle. I'm going to make this one, back to editing, I'm going to make this one 2.5 by 4. Just going to colour it red in the hope that you can see it better. And that should sit there on my panel. With it selected, I'm going to right click and make a duplicate, because that will make my next panel. And then I'm going to drag another rectangle on. I'm going to make this 5.25 by 4. Again, I'm going to colour it red in the hope that you can see it, and position that. So I've now got my base card and my 3 matting layers, and I'm going to do the same for the second section. So I'm going to drag another rectangle. I'm going to make this one 4.5 by 2.5. Again, I'm just going to come up to the line colour and make it red, and that should sit in there. I'm going to grab a square and I'm going to tick maintain aspect ratio and make this 2.5 square, colour it red, and that's going to sit there. I'm going to right click and make a duplicate. Now this one needs to be slightly narrower, so I'm going to untick maintain aspect ratio, and this one's going to be 2.25 by 2.5. So when you cut these, just make sure that you get these two in the right order. This one is 2.5 inches square. This one is 2.25 by 2.5 high. So that is how to make the Z fold card with all the matting layers. And then how you make this is, your first fold on your base card is a mountain fold, and your second fold is a valley. And you've got your bigger section on the right hand side, and on the smaller piece your bigger section is on the left, and again this is a mountain fold on the first line and a valley fold on the second. I'm just going to group these together for a minute, and then it sits on your card like so. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope you liked the tutorial. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a comment underneath the video letting me know if you're going to give it a try. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.